Hey everyone, Janota here. For everyone who missed it, Nintendo did the unthinkable. They made a video, not a game. As the first short film production from the new Nintendo Pictures, it was definitely interesting that they went with a Pikmin movie of all things. It definitely has brought a lot of interest and spotlight back onto Pikmin though. A main discussion point I've seen brought up is the confirmation that Pikmin once coexisted with humans, despite there being no real humans in any of the mainline games. Given that the canon of the series suggests that there was some sort of end of humanity on Earth, we've never gotten to fully understand what actually happened. Since this is a bit of a hot topic right now, I figured I'd throw in what information I can find to hopefully get some answers. So first, we're gonna have to establish something. Pikmin Bloom is not canon. I know it might seem kind of superfluous to bring that up, but believe me, this is important. A developer for Pikmin Bloom has stated how the game takes place in a different universe than the other games, or at least up to Pikmin 3 at the time. I bring this up because it's through Pikmin Bloom that we get the information of how Pikmin are all around us. They're just invisible and can only be seen through our phones. The question remains though, what about that Close to You short, or any other commercial ever that featured humans coexisting with Pikmin, even directly interacting with them? Well, that's just an age-old Nintendo strategy called advertising. What I mean is that all of these videos of Pikmin interacting directly with modern-day humans are within the Pikmin Bloom universe and not part of the main series. With that cleared up, now let's move on to the mainline games and figure out what happened to the humans. Obviously, by the time the games take place, the humans are at least missing. Pikmin 1 and 2 especially hint that there used to be a society and all of its remains have decayed over time. However, by Pikmin 4, we end up exploring the hero's hideaway, which very notably does not have a post-human feel. The house's interior seems perfectly intact, just minus the humans who would have lived there. It's obviously still implied that humans are gone. That hasn't changed since the first game, but it's still unclear as to why they're gone. Generally, when people talk about this, it's theorized and accepted that some apocalypse such as nuclear fallout wiped out humanity. Pikmin 2 showcases this as the Geiger counter is constantly moving to indicate radiation. Despite this, I actually want to cover something that I believe needs more attention when we discuss what happened to these humans. And these are the currently Japanese-only Pikmin Garden logs. I say currently because it seems Nintendo is in the process of translating them for the Nintendo Today app, so I'm jumping the gun a bit early on based on what I've already read because I've actually covered these logs before. On that note, I have brought up this theory before in one of those videos, but I'll go more into it in this one. Alright Chet, what have you got this time? In log number 5, Chet discusses space dogs, particularly Ochi and Moss. He mentions how a picture of actual dogs on Earth feels very familiar, and notes that Ochi and Moss themselves aren't that different despite being from different planets. He suggests that space dogs may have lived on PNF 404, hoping for some connection, even with Shepard mentioning that all of her family's generations of space dogs all had similar ears to Moss. Moving on, we get into the real stuff with log number 9, which covers the variety of explorers we see in the franchise. Despite living on different planets, they all share some similar traits, most notably their incredibly short height. Chet notes that the only ones who could have been a different size would be whatever used to live on PNF 404. And now here's the real kicker. There are apparently legends and myths that their ancestors came from a different planet that was abundant with water and nature. On top of this, many of the castaways say they experienced some sort of nostalgia when on the planet, Chet included, so he proposes that there's a bigger connection to be made here. Finally, in log number 10, Chet confirms his suspicion with how Shepard's ancestors, the people of the planet Gaia, came from a beautiful blue planet, meaning it most likely was Earth. Alongside this, there are many hints that the planet itself has a will of its own, even being the cause of the mysterious crashes that happens to anyone who gets too close. Chet even theorizes that the Pikmin are always conveniently waiting as if they're part of the scheme. In the log, Olimar recalls how during his capture by the Waterwraith, he dreamed of giant humans similar to them living with the Pikmin and many other shit. Okay, to be honest, I'm rushing this video, so I need to clear some things up. Before this moment, I was running with my idea that anything featuring humans and Pikmin interacting was not canon, and if anything was part of Pikmin Bloom's universe. Whereas in the main franchise, Pikmin started to appear after the humans left. Obviously, Olimar's dream hints that even in the main franchise, Pikmin did interact with humans before they disappeared. So this kinda throws my idea around, so just let me try to recollect here. To summarize, yes, Pikmin and humans once coexisted. Whether or not they were visible in the main franchise without a phone is unknown, but that was the case in the Pikmin Bloom universe. In case it isn't obvious, the hints are that the characters we play as in the Pikmin franchise are in fact humans. Despite coming from different planets, they do all share an origin, Earth. Alright, time for my theory to kick in, 2025 edition. As time went on with Pikmin and humans coexisting, pollution and decay was also growing. It eventually got to a point where humans couldn't live on Earth anymore, so they had to resort to space travel. As we see in Pikmin 4 through Moss, the Pikmin themselves are not able to leave, so they have to stay behind. While in space, the humans all ended up on differing planets, having to adjust to each of them. For example, people who lived on Kopai developed a fruit diet, opposed to people on Hokate who developed a vegetable diet. Through Shepard's family line, we know that there have been at least 100 generations, which equates to about 2,000 to 3,000 years. Obviously, that's not the limit, it could be way more than that, but during this time, all humans had definitely gotten smaller in size. Meanwhile, on PNF-404, things are changing fast. The leftover chemicals and radiation drastically changed many species, even creating new ones, while the world's geography also changes rapidly. The planet basically now has a will of its own, so when Olimar happened to pass by it, it had a meteorite sent to crash the dolphin and finally bring a human back to PNF-404. Oh my god, I just realized something. Because the humans have been gone for so long, they can't breathe oxygen anymore. It's basically poison to them now. Unless they get taken to an onion where they're turned into a Pikmin hybrid where they can breathe freely and run around with the Pikmin to do all sorts of dandori. And once again, the Pikmin are always conveniently nearby when someone crashes. Oh my god, are Pikmin evil? Are they just waiting for the right moment when you've dandoried out so they can turn you into a leafling so you'd stay on PNF 404 forever? I mean, sure, they do end up helping you escape, but it's because they listen to your commands, which ended up also helping them grow in numbers and strength. And this is of course because the captains are actually humans and the planet wants to keep them there. As I'm writing this, I feel like I've still not made this clear enough. I mean, I was just trying to figure out where the humans went and I accidentally discovered a conspiracy that Pikmin might be evil. In short, where are the humans in Pikmin? They're still around. They left for space when things got rough and finally came back with Olimar's crash landing. One final mention is that there is an intergalactic league that still unites all of these humans in space. I bring this up now because, well, what else is left but to predict the next Pikmin game? There is a big dispute in the fanbase about whether or not we should see a Pikmin game with actual full-scale humans or not. That and how Nintendo is driving the franchise a little bit more child-friendly by showcasing Pikmin interacting with a goddamn baby. I do agree that Nintendo is over-sanitizing the franchise a bit. Pikmin did used to have a more eerie feel, but I think that's just what's gonna happen. What I mean is, think about it. Olimar crashing set off a chain reaction for others to find the planet in return. Despite what we think when the game ends, the planet is technically succeeding in bringing humans back. Same for the Pikmin. Once you leave, they'll lose numbers, but soon enough someone else will crash. Rinse and repeat. Olimar was the first to find the planet, then Louie and the President, then the Capaites, and all of the castaways in Pikmin 4. Personally, I'd like a solo game about a completely different protagonist coming across the planet having to escape in their own way, because that would probably be the only way to bring back the isolated feeling. Otherwise, I wouldn't even mind a game following Pikmin 4 where more humans are returning and some form of society gets rebuilt alongside the Pikmin led by that Space Force. Pikmin as a franchise has definitely been reshaped recently, but I think that just opens up more possibilities for the franchise. I can tell you now that regardless what direction Nintendo goes, I'll be there for it. With all this said and done, there is still one theory that will probably come true. When Nintendo makes the next Pikmin game, dark or not, everyone is still gonna complain, but that's okay, because we all love Pikmin, despite them probably being evil now, so whoops.